I'll take a mom as a friend of a special needs child any day in my corner, because you know what? These are the women we want to go to battle with, right? These are the women, yes, you all deserve, go ahead, clapping, you know what, you all deserve it. Because there's nobody greater that we can depend on than a woman who's walking in our same shoes, who understands. I always tell people, our highs as moms are higher than other moms, right? Because if our kids do anything, we're like, woohoo, look at that! Like anything, right? It's like, okay, that was so great. It's monumental to us. We appreciate everything. But our lows are lower, right? Our lives were changed in an instant when we heard a diagnosis about our kids. And most people will never experience that. We've experienced hospital stays, doctor visits, surgeries, meds, being kicked out of places, loss of friends and family who just don't understand where we are. And to many people, especially typical parents, it's unfathomable. They just don't know where we've been. We know and we understand each other. There's a common bond, and I call it a sisterhood. We have a sisterhood, and we need each other. So we also share a very special aspect of love with our kids. I don't know about you, but my son loves me more than anybody in the world loves me. Okay, outside of Jesus' love for me. But this is also the same kid that when he's upset, pulls off and hits me, throws his head back and almost breaks my nose, right? So can other parents understand that? No, they don't have a clue. But the love that our kids have, it's like an unconditional love that they have for us. And I feel like it's a greater love than we can experience really in almost any other relationship while on this earth. Okay. So I just want you ladies to know before I get into my story a little bit today that you are loved and you are seen. You are cared for. And I thank Cindy today for making all of us moms feel that we're seen today, because we are a group that often is unrecognized, right? And people don't understand and they don't see us. So kudos to all of you for showing up today, for supporting one another and being in each other's corner. All right, I didn't want to be a downer. But this is a reality, right? This is where we live, ladies. So now I'm going to share a quick little bit about my bio and how I ended up as a health coach and why you moms are so important to me. I've been married to my husband for 33 years. He was an NFL football player. He played in the NFL for 14 years, and he just retired a year ago this January. Started a new business right away, so I thought, we were going to get tired of each other being at home, but we rarely see each other. I started a business, he started a business, so that's good. He finished his career with the New York Jets. He played with them, and then he finished his career. He stayed on with them for like 20 years as like almost a life coach. He was a director of player engagement, so he had like 60 sons. That young men, these guys are in the NFL, like young, inexperienced, a lot of decisions that are way over their heads, and that's what he did. He helped them. Financial decisions, marriage issues, how do I get my health insurance, everything outside of, like, not on the football field, but outside of football. And he had a lot of experience, so he was good at it. Let me see. All right, this is the other thing. I'm really bad at technology, so bear with me. This is my company logo, Complete Wealth. We'll talk today about learning new things, and here, I'm like PowerPoints. This is like my first one. So, there's my family. All right, so I don't know if you can see that very well. That's my happy guy, Shane, my son, Josh, and my husband, Dave. This picture was a miracle. One good picture last year, and it's our Christmas card, okay? So we got one good picture. So you all know what that's like too, right? You're like, all right, yeah, come on, we're gonna do it. And I threaten my family all year, like, come on, if we get this out of the way now, if we get one, we don't have to do this all year. Otherwise, we're trying all year. And guys hate that. So I get them on board sometimes. So we have two sons, Joshua, 27, in the back. Shane is 30, that's my special needs guy. Josh is often known as Shane's brother, right? Siblings know this, right? They also are kind of in the shadows. It's a whole nother topic for another day, siblings of special needs children. And, I might need those lights back on. I don't know if my glasses I don't know if my glasses are strong enough. I'm sorry, but then we might have to turn it off, turn it back on. No. Oh, this is good. This is fine. That's fine. If that's okay. All right. So Shane has multiple disabilities. He has cerebral palsy. He's nonverbal, non-ambulatory. Has had a seizure disorder. He hasn't had a seizure in 4 years. Thank God. I know. And he also has autistic tendencies, so intermittent explosive behaviors. So, you know, the whole gamut. Again, things that most of you here can relate to, right? Not if I say that, give that list to anybody else. They're like, oh, okay. They don't know. And I am also a breast cancer survivor. So yeah, thank you. I'm very blessed to be here today. So this June will be 5 years. So yeah, by the grace of God, I'm very, very grateful. I'm a firm believer that stories which make up our lives, that we all live every day, are meant for bigger purposes. They're really meant not to keep to ourselves. They're meant to share with other people and help other people. And that was why I became a health coach. I started learning things after going through breast cancer that I was like, this is important for people to know. These are simple things that can be life-altering, or why are we not doing these things? So I really took the classes to help myself after going through breast cancer, but what I experienced was I couldn't stop telling people. I'd be like, oh no, don't eat that, that's not good for you. Don't give that to your kids. You know, you wonder why your kid is bouncing off the walls, don't do it. So I'm very passionate about everything that I do, and so health coaching became one of those things. So prior to breast cancer, I always considered myself a pretty healthy person. Like, I worked out, I ate pretty well, and I was devastated when I got this diagnosis. I just never thought it would be me, you know, kind of like you hear that diagnosis, that C word, and it's kind of like the same feeling as when the doctor tells you your child's diagnosis for the first time. Oh, your son's never going to walk, he's never going to talk, you're never probably going to see him run on a playground like a typical kid. It was the same exact feeling to me. Both of those things are things that took my breath away when I heard those diagnoses on both accounts. When I experienced this cancer diagnosis, I immediately, after going through my year of everything that I had to go through, I had a mind shift. And I know a lot of you can relate to this, because when you're a mom with a special needs child, your whole thing is, I have to survive, right? It's like, it's not optional. Like, I have to be here. My child needs me, my family needs me, and our kids will need us a lot longer than most people's children will need them. So I went into like this survival mode, and I just thought, well, what can I do to help myself? Once I got past the diagnosis, I was like, okay, what does this look like? Do I have to just sit around and wait, like for the next shoe to drop, to hear again in a year or two, you know, another diagnosis, or can I do something to help myself in the meantime? So when I got to the other side of the journey, I just figured, you know, I'm going to start doing some research. And let's see here. I wasn't going to share this part, but as I was driving here, I really felt like I should, because, you know, there's a lot of toxicity in our world, right? There's physical toxins, there's emotional toxins. Our world is toxic on a lot of levels. But as I was learning about health and things that I could change, what I didn't realize is that there are inner toxins. Right? And this is, like I said, I really wasn't going to share this. But I survived breast cancer, and I was healed after a year of debilitating migraines, like changed my life. Like to the point I wasn't even leaving the house, and I'm very active. Our family is very active, and I'd be like, I can't go anywhere. I couldn't go to the grocery store, the lights, the noise. I couldn't drive, and there were very special prayer service. I got healed from that instantly, like that. But I realized after, it was like probably a year after I went through all that, I was like, I had these anger issues. And I was like, what is this? I'm like, what am I angry about? I just survived breast cancer. I got healed from migraines that left me on the couch for a year. So I called a friend of mine who does trauma and inner healing counseling. They're a couple, they're amazing. And I was like, I need to figure this out, because like I have these anger issues, like from 0 to 1,000, not 100, like 1,000, and I don't understand what's happening in my life. And so it took 4 sessions for them, it took 1 session for them to uncover that there was a lot of unresolved unforgiveness in my life. And I believe, you know, everybody on the face of the earth deals with things that need inner healing, unresolved anger, unforgiveness. You know, there's a myriad of things. We have to address those things as well. I'm not going to talk about that much, but I did have to tap into that today, because we're going to talk a lot more about the physical. But you can't be good physically if you can't be good emotionally. So I just wanted to share that with you all, because I know that we carry a lot. We carry a lot of emotional things as moms with special needs kids. And so I just wanted to share that. It's something worth digging a little bit deeper into somewhere on your journey. And I'm happy at any time to help you, direct you in any direction if I can. There's a great saying that I love, and it's that a healthy person has 1,000 wishes, and a sick person only has 1. When you're healthy, you dream, you have all these ideas, you make plans, you fill up your calendar. When you're sick and you can't get off the couch for a year, you only want one thing. I just want to be better. I just want my life back. I just want to feel good again. And so I started doing research about how do we, you know, what are the things we can do to help ourselves. I found out there was a connection between toxins and cancer. Toxins in our body, the stuff not only we put in our body, but the things we put on our bodies. Ladies, by the time we leave the house, we have 25 different products we've already used. And you know what? A lot of them are toxic. So I'll share 2 websites with you after about clean living, people to follow that suggest clean living products as opposed to the really toxic products that everything in this world is filled with. So I quickly realized I could be making better choices for myself, for my body, my mental health, and ultimately for my family, because what we do is an example to our family, and ultimately, ladies, we kind of set the tone in the house, right? We do the cooking, we clean, we buy the products, we buy their clothing, we're the ones who fill the house with stuff, so it's good for us to be aware of certain things. There's things that happen in life, and there's nothing really we can do about it. You know, things happen. But what can we do to try to give ourselves the best chance to fight for ourselves? I learned that food and environmental conditions have a profound effect on our lives. They affect our moods, our energy, our joy, or a lack of joy. They affect depressional symptoms, anxiety symptoms, hormones. They affect our relationships and our sleep. What we allow in our bodies and in our homes are either stacking up in our favor or they're detracting from our health. My family has been the beneficiaries of many of the changes that I've made in our home, and I didn't think of that. Again, originally, like, you know, I just thought, oh, I'm going to change and I'm going to do these things, but I started noticing, I didn't tell my family, I just made changes. I didn't tell them they were eating gluten-free pasta. They didn't know the difference after I tried multiple times, multiple different types. I didn't tell them they were, you know, having marinara sauce with less sugar. I didn't tell them their ketchup no longer has sugar in it. I just started doing things gradually. I started substituting cleaning products for their laundry detergent. We live in clothes that are washed in chemicals. We sleep in sheets that are washed in chemicals. Try to find cleaner brands. They're not that much more expensive. And you know what? You're going to pay for your health one way or another. You're either going to pay for your health up front to stay healthy, or you're going to pay for your health at the doctor's in the future. So, you know, you kind of have to weigh it out. But there are products out there that are not that expensive, but are much less toxic for your lives. And my family, like I said, they've been the beneficiary of it. My husband, who, when he was playing in the NFL, he was 290 pounds. He's 6'4". He's a big guy. He's now down to 250. And he's in great shape. Most men after playing 14 years in the NFL are not in very good shape. Their body's hurt, and he's doing excellent. He does Peloton. He started a new business where he takes hunters, American hunters, to Spain to hunt big game animals. And he climbs crazy mountains and terrains, and he's in great shape. So he has been like my real success story. And my son, Josh, who's 27, you know, just by modeling it in front of him, he moved out and lives on his own, and he'll text me, Mom, how is this as a snack? Mom, look, I bought this. What's that gluten-free pasta that we eat at home? What are those sauces that we use? And this is a kid who ate like a lot of junk food. But he changed that because he recognized he didn't have headaches anymore. He had always had irritable bowel syndrome. He doesn't have that anymore. And he recognized that not eating red dye, sour gummies, Twizzlers, red Doritos, which thank God, and thank RFK, that red dye is now banned. Yes. Although they say it's going to take till 2027 to get out of our food. Ladies, don't wait for the propaganda, okay? Just stop letting your kids eat red dye. It literally is destroying them. It's bad for their behaviors. It's bad for their health. It short circuits your brain. There's nothing good about something that is red unless it was a beet. If it comes from a beet, that's good. Strawberry, something like that. But outside of that, if your kids are eating something in a package with red dye, especially special needs children, just stop. Just don't give it to them because it's very toxic to their lives. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about two of my other favorite subjects, which are food and health. Food is a funny thing. It's associated with a lot of different things in our lives, right? Like we have sometimes emotional attachments to food, maybe a memory connected to some food that we eat, like, oh, I used to eat this at home, I used to eat this with my mom, my mom used to make this. Although back in the day, probably for most of us here, when our moms cooked food, food was much more natural. It was less processed, it was filled with less hormones. It was just, I always use my husband's grandmother as an example. She lived to 97, so she was like, I don't know what year she was born, like in the 30s maybe. She died a couple of years ago. She was, probably in the late 20s, early 30s. And she didn't eat processed foods. She cooked her food, and she was never overweight. And she would say, I eat one apple, one orange, and one banana every day. And even if we'd go to a restaurant, she'd order the smallest little portion. She's like, they give you so much food. I know, Grandma. But this woman lived till 97. She could walk, she talked, there was nothing wrong with her. So there was something different then about the food that people used to eat. So if you think about it, there's a lot of different things that affect the decisions we make about food. One is our environment, right? Either who we're around, how we grew up, what we believed. Our finances, often, right? If it's like cheap fast food that we eat, or if we think eating out is a great thing, which we'll get to that. Cultural or social surroundings, right? Who we're with, when we go out to dinner, how do our friends eat? What do they do? Maybe religious beliefs may affect certain restrictions on food. Our personal beliefs about a food, like, oh, that's not good, I can't eat that. Or because we, kind of psych ourselves out. Sometimes there's really not good and bad food. Food is good. It's what we do with the food that's not good. So it's processed, packaged things that are not good. But food in general it's not bad. So we have to change our mindset about that too, because people struggle with that. And it affects our how about this when you're hungry and you go food shopping, right? Like we make the worst decisions. I went in the other day to buy one thing. I was like, I'm just hungry, I'm just gonna get one thing. I came out with like $250 later and stuff that I was like, oh my gosh, I was sitting in the car eating. It was good stuff, it was yogurt, but I was like, I was so hungry when I went in there. So our hunger levels definitely affect the decisions we make, which is why food prep is a very important thing, because if you have something at home, that's what I forgot, to put a picture of food prep up here, which is basically, when you buy anything and you get it home, strawberries, berries, carrots, or celery, anything like that, prepare it like when you get home. Don't leave it in the fridge, because how many vegetables go bad because we just leave it in there. We leave it in there. Take it home, cut it up, put it in a mason jar. I do celery and carrots in a mason jar with a little bit of water. They stay forever. Excuse me, but if it's cut up and ready to go and I'm starving and I get hangry, so like my family knows, like just give the girl some food. But if it's there, if it's an option, if the carrot still has leaves on it and it's not cut or cleaned, or if it's in a mason jar ready to go, it's going to be make a big difference for me. So meal prepping is a big thing. Unfortunately, the Standard American Diet. Have you heard this? Standard American Diet. What's the acronym for that? SAD. It's a SAD. It's literally a thing. Like, they call it the SAD diet. People in Europe don't eat the way we eat. They don't eat as much processed foods. In Europe, there's over 1,100 products that are banned on the FDA list. Guess how many in the States? You can't say. 11. 11. Oh, they actually say 11 to 1,700 in Europe. 11 items are banned on our list. So what's going on? Why are they feeding us this garbage? Well, we don't have to, we don't have to drink the Kool-Aid. We don't have to do and take, accept the foods that people are telling us comes in a package. It's good. This is a health food. I have one other little tidbit. I have a lot of tidbits, but so if something says organic on it, it doesn't mean it's organic. It has to have the USDA certified organic seal, okay, which is a round little seal, and it says USDA certified organic. If it just says organic, it can have one item, one ingredient that's organic, and they can call it organic. Think about that scam. Can you imagine? I mean, so we have to be informed. So you have to look for, if you're looking to buy something organic, go with the USDA organic seal. That means that means every product has to be organic in the package. So good little tidbit. So the problem with the SAD American diet is it's filled with processed foods and it's called UPFs. I don't know if you see that a lot in the headlines right now, ultra processed foods that cause major inflammation in our bodies. So the pains and aches that you feel, and it's one thing to age and have normal aches and pains, but the things that we live with based on inflammation, those are not all just normal pains. That's based on, and I can attest to that, because when I eliminated gluten and sugar from my diet, and not all the time, I try to do like 80-20, like even if you start at 50-50, right? If you're like 50% good, but a goal could be to get to like 70% of the food you eat is decent, 30%, we all live, right? Yes, Cindy, you said something about ice cream. Yes, I eat ice cream, on occasion, but it's not a standard thing that I do. So, we want to try to, let's call it, crowd out the bad things and bring in more good things so that we give ourselves a fighting chance. Because besides inflammation, you get brain fog, muscle pain, joint pain, and eventually it leads to long-term illnesses, because chronic inflammation leads to long-term illness. And I really believe with all my heart that a lot of that stress and bad food was also an indicator of why I got cancer as well. But the good news is that we don't have to just accept that, there's nothing I can do about this, because we can't control everything, but we do control what we buy, we control what we eat, and we don't have to accept the standard American diet as a normal way of life. And I really, for me, it's really about our kids too, right? I mean, besides the fact that we have to be here and we have to be here long term, we want to be able to get down on the floor with our kids. We want to chase the runners, right? My son, who's probably 175 pounds and in a wheelchair, I want to be able to push his wheelchair up and down the hill. With the wheelchair, he's like 250 pounds. So I can't, after, like I said, going through breast cancer, I couldn't push his wheelchair. I couldn't be there for him. I couldn't be there to do the things I normally do. And I knew that I had to be strong when I came back from this. So we have to fight. We're going to be around a long time, and we have to be able to take care of our kids. I don't know if other of you are changing diapers. My son is a man. When you have to change diapers, you have to be, I have to be in better shape than he is, because he's a lot of work. But taking action is easier than you think, and it normally starts with one change in your life. Whatever that change is, you can pick something. Do you need to drink more water? Do you need to start, well, we'll get to activity. But let's go back to the food for a minute. Food is our energy, okay? So if you're always tired, and you always feel like by the end of the day, grabbing something very sugary, it's because what happens is we don't put low test fuel into race cars, right? What do they use? They use premium gasoline. It's the same thing with our bodies. If you use low test food, which is sugars, processed, packaged foods, you're asking your body to run like a racehorse on processed foods, and it doesn't work that way. What you can contribute to your own well-being is to give yourself the best fuel source that you possibly can. So, let's see. Let me see if I can figure this out. I'll go here. I had the, wrong way. Oh, okay. That's what a healthy plate can look like. If you guys, I don't know if you can see it, if you can screenshot it, but quarter should be meats and high protein. A quarter should be whole grains, healthy whole grains, and half of your plate should consist of vegetables and fruits. And honestly, if you eat this and fill up with greens and fiber, there's a lot of fiber in these vegetables, that fills you up. Start your plate, when you eat your protein first, because the protein is much more satiating than anything else on this plate. Protein, what do we normally tend to do, right? If we get something with pasta, we always eat the pasta and the rice first. I don't know why, but it's what we do. And the pasta comes out, we're like, oh, and the meat is like an afterthought. But really, if we fill up on the protein, that helps our blood sugar. It sustains us much longer than any carbs do. Carbs are like an instant, right? You instantly feel good, instantly feel bad within about an hour of eating. But if you do protein, that sustains you much longer. And all these greens and roughage, you can do vegetables and fruits, help to fill you up, help you with almost all issues in your digestive system as well. So here's something to think about. These are called nutrient-dense foods, okay? That means they're filled with good stuff. You can think of it like this when you're shopping. Does it grow on a tree? Okay, if it grows on a tree, it's a natural food. Does it grow out of the ground? Okay, it's a sweet potato. It grows out of the ground, that's healthy. A potato chip didn't grow out of the ground. Nope. People can tell you all they want, it's a potato. It's not. It's a processed piece of, it's not a potato anymore by the time it gets into that bag. Because that bag's gonna last about 6 months. If it has an expiration date 6 months from now, it's not a whole food, just so you know. And does it have a mother? So if it has a mother, right? Meat, not like us, but chickens, eggs, fish, any type of bird, cows, it's a mother, comes from a mother. That's a natural food. That came from a natural source. So it's one way to think about before you put something in your mouth. Is this a natural food? Is this a whole food? It's pretty easy to tell. But this, to me, this is critical. This has changed the way that I eat. Because I have a very big appetite. My husband's 6'4", 250 pounds. I go toe to toe with him at every meal. I eat the same amount of food. It's a joke in our family. A lot of times, if we go out to eat, which we don't do much anymore, and I'll get to that, my meal comes and it's twice the size of his. But it's normally like a fish and much more vegetables. And so I like to eat. It's not that you have to be hungry. I don't like to be hungry. I like to eat, and I really enjoy food. So, but you can fill up on good things that become a part of your life that really make a difference. And you don't have to count calories when you eat like this, because your plate is filled with good stuff. You don't have to count calories when this is it. You don't have to count those calories. You just say, this is what my plate is going to look like, and this makes sense, and it works as a kind of a natural system. Have any of you heard of the areas, the blue zones? Yeah, which is, I love this guy, Dan Butner, I think is his name. He did some research on the highest number of people over 100 years old. I think they call them centenarians, maybe? They're over 100. And where do they live? So he started this project and he pinned them on a map, and it became that he just used blue dots, and that was how he kind of found these people. That's why they call them the blue zones. It's on Netflix. It's a documentary. Watch it. It's so enlightening, and it's just it's very, very uplifting. There's 5 areas. It's Okinawa, Japan, Ikaria, Greece, Loma Linda, California, which is the only one in the United States, Sardinia, Italy, and a really interesting place in Costa Rica. I forget the name of it. Nicoya, Costa Rica. And he found that they all had certain things in common. their diet. They all ate Mediterranean diet, so a lot of fish and vegetables. A lot of them grew their own vegetables, so they had to do the gardening work to get the food, right? There was no going to a convenience store and buying a bag of chips. It doesn't exist where they are. They cultivate their own food. They all move every day. I mean, we're talking people 90, 95 years old who live in villages, who are walking up and down cobblestone roads in Italy at 90, 95 years old. You know, we're trying to find the closest parking spot here, at our age, like, we're gonna park so close, you know? Like, find the furthest parking spot and then walk, because it's good for you. But movement is a key, and they move every day. It's part of their lifestyle. We're, granted, in the States, we don't have it set up really for physical, like, activity every day, and the weather here in New Jersey can be, but, you know, we have to do what we can do. You can do little things, take the stairs, you know, instead of the elevator. But anyway, they don't necessarily have organized gyms or workouts. They just do physical activity. And research has found that stretching, and this has been a life changer for me, reaps some of the highest rewards for your output in activity. You can Google anything nowadays. So if you want to find a good stretching routine that takes 10 minutes, I'm telling you, it's been life altering for me. The typical normal small aches and pains that I have totally resided. And because it's just you're getting the fluid moving throughout your body. The blood is pumping, you're circulating. You know, they say that sitting is the new smoking. So that what do we do all day? We sit on our phones even when we have free time. We used to maybe go for a walk or do something active around your house. Now we sit and we scroll, doom scroll. It's terrible. It's so bad for us, for our health, for everything, for our mental health, and for our health. So, you know, any type of movement is very good, and I'll get to that as well. But they also live in community. They live in community with others their age. They did social things. So ladies, again, important for you to get out here amongst your friends, do things together, right? We need each other to spur each other on, and it really helps to be in community. It could be church community, support groups, whatever that may look like. They have strong family ties, which is very different than in the States because they live very multi-generationally, and that's not as big of a thing here in the United States. You know, we kind of all live separate. And they all have some level of faith in their lives. Having faith promotes feelings of hopefulness. Taking time to pray lowers your stress, and it's also helpful to know that there's always someone bigger than you in charge of your life. They all have a sense of purpose. They felt like, oh, at 90 years old, okay, they're digging stuff out of the garden, and they're like, I have to do this for my family. They need me. So, let's see. Little things we can do, start walking instead of taking the elevator, get some movement. But the four main things that really contribute to a healthier lifestyle are the foods we consume, our sleep patterns, which I know that's probably an issue for a lot of moms here, especially as kids. The amount of movement your body gets, and stress. So foods, keep it simple, eat it in its purest form. I used to love to eat out, and I don't as much anymore. I prefer to make my own food. I know what goes in everything. I know the ingredients, and I feel 100 times better after I eat one of my meals than out. Sleep is huge. There's little things you can do for your sleep. Set up a sleep pattern. Take a shower at night before you go to bed. Get off your phone an hour to an hour and a half before you go to sleep. It overstimulates your brain. It makes you go into la-la land. You're off, you know, wasting your time. Your brain can't shut down as quick. Keep your room cool. Have like a little ritual. Like I just take a shower every night before I go to bed. Just rinse off if I already showered that day, because my body knows that it's getting ready for bed. It's changed my sleep patterns tremendously. Try to get 6 to 7 hours a night. Movement, cleaning counts, dancing with your kids. Put your music on. Have fun with your kids. Get them to move. Stop scrolling, kids. Let's have a dance party. Do stuff that's good for you and them. And stress is the big thing, but that's really difficult to manage for all of us, right? So we have to find ways, inner healing, talk to people, find a counselor if you need to, find ways to manage the stress. We have to take care of ourselves. Ladies, nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to start eating healthy for you. Nobody else is going to take time. Self-care is not a luxury, ladies. It's a necessity for your lives. We want to be here. We want to be here long term for our children. So do the things you have to do. Don't think of it like a luxury. Think of it of a necessity to take care of yourself. That's why today is such a great day for you all to be here to do what you need to do. In my health coaching program, I offer group sessions, which is really fun because you can do it together with people you enjoy. You encourage one another. I also do one-on-one sessions, and you know, it takes be patient with yourselves. Remember, ladies, if you make one change, you know, you're always patient with your friends and your loved ones. You are some of the most patient women that I know when it comes to other people, but we're not always patient with ourselves. So be kind to yourself. Remember, take it slow. Make one change at a time. And each step that you take is a journey towards change. So thanks. God bless you all. Oh, and yeah, I don't know if we want to ask any questions. Well,
Okay, Andrea is going to have a table in the vendor room, so if you want to go talk to her, she's going to be in there. Okay, so you can sit and talk to her one-on-one. Okay? All right, moving on. This is something new, guys. We have not done this before at our retreat. And we are going to do some recipes. Hold on, let's move this. This doesn't belong up here. Some batteries. Okay. Oh, good. All right, she's got her, you brought your big blender.
yeah,
Yay.
how can I help?
Okay, so yeah, let's set up the blender and we need to plug in, so we don't need the projector on, so you can use this extension.
Okay.
This stuff can all shut off. Or actually, you can plug it right in here.
Okay.
Let's do that. Then I don't have to unplug stuff. Okay. We need 2 volunteers. 2 volunteers. Hurry up! 2 volunteers, come on up. All right, the first recipe we're going to do is a very easy
so
salad
much,
dressing. We're
Jen.
doing
Oh my
lemon
gosh.
vinaigrette. Come on over, my love. Okay. All right, we need, hold on, I need the lemons. All right, where's my team? Okay, Patty, I need the bowl of lemons and the Dijon over there on that back. No, the Dijon is up here. I just need the lemons, please. Okay, somebody bring me the lemons in the back. Someone. Okay. Now, all the recipes that we do today, I'm going to post them on our Lemonade Moms Facebook page. Who is not on the Lemonade Moms Facebook page? Raise your hand. Go on your phone right now and go on Facebook. You don't have Facebook? There's always a couple. All right. Well, then I can always email everybody that came to the retreat, and I can email you, because these are on my computer, so I can email you the file so everybody has it. Okay? How's that? Does that work better?
On my website.
Okay.
I'm going to post on Facebook tonight. I'm going to post all the recipes we use.
Okay. Where'd you get the gloves from?
Just grab from table.
We'll save them because you're going to need them later.
Okay.
Okay. Because I had
I'm not
here.
ready.
No. All right. From now, any other volunteers that have come up, just wash your hands with this. Okay. Can somebody hit the lights? Thank you. Okay. All right. So we are going to double the recipe. So we need 3 teaspoons of grated lemon zest. You're going to put everything in here. Okay?
Okay.
So lemon,
Thank you.
zest, and if you want, maybe put it on here and then you can measure out.
Yeah.
Right?